And it's more of like, are they doing what we intend for them to do? Or are they scrolling around, clicking on things that you didn't want them to click on, and then they're leaving your page because there's no impact for them there, right? So always have your analytics, measure all that stuff, and then are you having the conversion that you need to do to survive? Because marketing is an investment, it's not an expense.
Hello and welcome to the eCommerce podcast. We believe that there is more than enough content focused on e-commerce marketing and not enough content celebrating the real heroes of e-commerce, those running the operation. Each week, we find and interview an e-commerce operations expert to share the secrets behind how some of this industry's most exciting businesses are run. I'm your host, Norbert Strappler, the CEO of SyncSpider.
Hello and welcome to another eCom Ops podcast. Today I'm talking to Victor from OmniPrint. You can see it in the background. That's really great. So for all those who are following us on the video channels, great to have you here, Victor. Hi.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. And hopefully, the main intention is to bring as much value to you and the audience as possible.
Thank you very much. That's beautiful to hear that. So really cool. Let us start with a very simple question. How did you get into e-commerce?
Yeah, so for me, it's kind of an unlikely story, right? Because we're actually a manufacturer, right? So we manufacture digital printers that are used by apparel brands like t-shirt brands, e-commerce stores, Etsy, Shopify stores. And it's used for print on demand, right? So if you see, people selling stuff that's like, hey, it's wine o'clock, or you have like nice T-shirts that you find online, most of them are done with print on demand, and they're fulfilled with our printers, right? And this is more of a sell first, then print and ship, right? So we actually manufacture the equipment. So we're kind of an unlikely e-commerce specialist now, right? Because we had to do it to go to direct to consumer. Mm-hmm. And for example, for me, I'm a recovering engineer, right? So I was more about how do I build the best equipment? But then when you build it, now what? What do you do next? You have to find the customers to buy it, right? So that's kind of the initial backstory of why I decided, okay, well, we have to go really heavy on online and e-commerce as a traditional manufacturer, right? So my first journey was in my journal that said, hey, start a marketing e-commerce campaign. That's all I knew.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I started with a huge need to get to our consumer.
And what actually do you sell online? Do you sell online the machines, or do you sell online the printed shirts, or do you sell both?
Our primary business is manufacturing the machines. We sell the machines. We sell the inks because we also formulate and sell the inks. We also sell like the supplies, everything that somebody needs to do. And we also sell an e-commerce storefront and management system for people's print shop orders.
That's nice. That's cool. So, on which system did you build that?
Actually, that's custom coded.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's custom coded. So it's a .NET application, and it integrates into Shopify, Etsy, pretty much the major, shopping carts that are out there. Mm-hmm. And what it does is it pulls the order from your consumer page, and then it delivers it to your printer so that you could print it, and then you could ship it and fulfill it. And so you can manage the back end of it as well.
Okay. Yeah. And OmniPrint is already 17 years old. Yeah. It's just quite 16, a long story for 16, this new technology.
17, yeah. No, really, as you know, at the beginning, for example, I started it myself, so it's like a one-man show at the beginning. So, your start date is always really gray. It's a gray area because it's like, when did I start? When I started working with myself and I didn't have a company yet, or did I start when the company become formal and I started getting employees and all that? So, but yeah, it's been a long road, right? So all I could tell the audience about that is, sometimes your overnight success is going to take 15 years. And the main question is, are you going to stick through it long enough to see it?
Mm-hmm. And that's really the hardest part, is to get this break even. When you say, okay, now I could maybe a bit relax because it's break even, it's turning out, and that's working fine. Mm-hmm. Tell us a bit more about your customers. So you have the software, you have the tools, you have the machines. Who is using your software? Is it just in the US or international?
Yeah, so we're international. So OmniPrint International sells pretty much everywhere you have a creator, right? Yeah. So, for example, you have people, especially during COVID, you have people that are working from home. Our machines are eco-friendly. You could use it out of your garage or your bedroom, a room in your house, right? Yeah. And you can have an e-commerce store, and you can start selling like nice designs. So our customer base can start there, right? Just picture like, a mom of two with an Etsy store printing at home and just shipping to the customers, right? We have a lot of customers like that. We also have like some mid-range volume brands that do over 10 million a year using our machines, where they have they have, hundreds of e-commerce stores, and they only print it after the order comes in. So these are all virtual products. And then you have like the big guys, big fulfillment centers. You have like, big box people that use print on demand to fulfill their orders. So, a lot of the Amazon merch is done on print on demand machines, right? So like the range of customers is pretty huge.
Yeah, and I see it a lot, and it's still not. I don't see that the market is already overfilled, because there are a lot of people starting print on demand. Especially, also I've seen it in the SaaS application world. So in the SaaS software world, when you sign up for a tool and you purchase the first plan, you get a free T-shirt with the brand, and it's all print on demand, actually, right?
Exactly. So it's fairly new, right? This is a new technology. As you know, from back in the day, it was done with screen printing. Yeah. That's hundreds of years old already. And so this is starting, and it's just been growing year after year.
Yeah. What do you hear from your vendors that are using the software? I mean, is it hard for people to set it up and get started on e-commerce? What are the big pain points that you hear?
Yeah, so I'll give you a little bit of backstory. That's a great question. So at the beginning of COVID, we polled our customers, and about 51% of them were not on any sort of e-commerce, right? So that means that they're relying on somebody coming to their shops or calling them or whatever. Yeah. So we turned our platform, it's called Work, like WURK, right? And we turned it on for those customers for free. So basically they set up a free trial at the beginning, and it's pretty easy to set up. They just select which kind of garments they're selling, t-shirts, sweatshirts. They set up a price. They put in their business information, and now they have a front-end store to set up. Mm-hmm. But the reality is, especially, it's even going to grow this year even more. Our main message to our customers is, I don't care if you use my platform, use something. Use something, set it up. We really like Shopify because of how easy it is for the average person. Yeah, mm-hmm. Average person to set up. Shopify is the first platform we integrated to take the actual high resolution print image and bring it to your printer. and then allow you to print it with a barcode and ship it, right? So the main message here is start. If you don't have e-commerce presence, then you need to do something, right? And in our channel or your channel, I'm sure there's information on how to start, because it's the number one thing that you have to do.
Yeah, I remember 20 years ago when we wanted to print a T-shirt. Yeah, it was like going into the copy shop, give them the picture that you wanted on the T-shirt, and then you went away. They printed it out on some special paper and pressed it on the shirt, and you came back half an hour later, and you had your printed shirt. I mean, the things changed really, really dramatically.
Definitely. And now, the quality is even better, right? Back in the day, that you couldn't wash it. As soon as you washed it, it fell off, right? So that's where the old transfers from before.
And your machines, is it a direct printing or is it a transfer still?
Yeah, so we have both, right? So we have direct to garment, which that is printing directly on the shirt, right?
Oh, gosh,
so it prints
this is
on
really
the cotton.
Amazing.
Yeah, and we have a lot of videos on our YouTube that show each of these processes. Mm-hmm. And then we have we have some settings, and we have some films so that you can also do direct to digital transfer, right? Mm-hmm. It's called DTF. And it prints directly on the film. And what does that do? It allows you to print transfers for yourself and store them, or it allows you to print transfers for others that don't have the machines. Mm-hmm. So you become like a mini fulfillment center.
That's also nice, a nice approach, because once you have it, you can also sell that as is and serve B2B and B2C customers. This is really a great idea and helps a lot. When it comes to marketing, I mean, I think you have your own digital marketing department in-house, right?
Yes, we do.
How does that work? Are you happy with that? What they are doing? I mean, you can tell it. Nobody listens to that here. No,
no, seriously. The most important thing, obviously, is the mission, right?
Yeah.
Because that's where you start getting some alignment. So our mission is to empower business owners globally to thrive with print on demand and e-commerce, right? Yeah. So what does that do? So then our digital marketing team their mission is to help our customers grow. It's not to record video. It's not to edit it. It's not to put posts up and all that stuff. It's actually to reach the customer and help them grow.
Yeah.
So we have more control. The marketing department is one of the departments that I'm more in touch with. It's under my umbrella still.
Yeah.
Then also R&D. Why? Because I could listen to the customers and have my finger on the pulse, and I can create product that solves their problems. Right. So, and it's a long-winded answer to your question, right? But our team is the most valuable thing that we have.
Absolutely. The team is everything that a company has, is based on the people that are there. And that's just very important. And I'm glad to hear that you're proud of your team and they're doing a good job. Tell me a bit more about the digital marketing efforts that you do. So what are you doing to that helps you grow?
Yeah. So first off is the activity, right? Mm-hmm. This year we're about to even increase our activity. We have a big activity when it comes to recording content that helps the customer, right? So we're doing long form video a lot, educational stuff that goes on YouTube, and then that we use to repurpose on all of our media channels. So it all starts with what are you doing to be in front of the customer as often as possible, and being omnipresent, right? Yep. That means that I'm gonna like you guys that visit our channel, you're probably gonna see a ton of our ads afterwards, right? And you're gonna see us everywhere. We also have what we call a Creators Live every Wednesday, where it used to be just for our customers to help them grow. Now we just recently last month opened it up to everyone, every creator out there. So if you want to check that out, it's a Creators Live on Wednesday Pacific time and at 2 p.m. What do? We answer business owners' questions. We show them, let's say, I want to print this hoodie, or I want to set up this Shopify store, or whatever their issue is in growing. We'll help them right there live. So we do that every single Wednesday, and that content goes up and it gets repurposed also, right? So that's one part of it, because you have to have a foundational message to help and empower the business owners. And then you have to have enough educational content for them to consume and come back. And then we repurpose that into ads for retargeting to the proper audience that we want to reach.
That's a very interesting approach. It's a bit similar to the podcast things, what you're doing to bring out valuable content that help other businesses to grow. And I like that approach because giving that in every week on a specific day is something that can really help a business to focus on that and really get benefit out of it. So it's not only that you help the businesses, but this helps you grow. And this is something that is really a win-win situation for everyone, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Another thing that's important is we have one-on-one sessions, right? We're doing it, you and I, but we have creators one-on-ones. And these are with our customers from every segment, right? So let's say I have somebody doing Etsy, I have somebody doing streetwear brand, I have somebody doing retail stores, right? We'll bring them on. They share what they're doing to win. And that's part of us sharing with other customers, because if you're not winning, I'm going to share with you what others are doing to win. And then the second part of it is, I ask them to come up with the most impactful 2 or 3 questions that they have that's holding them back. And my job is to help them through that.
So you have seen quite a lot of things. Let me ask you, what do you think are 2 or 3 really quick wins that every e-commerce store owner could do to better make business, better grow the business, perform better?
Yeah, so that's super important. So number one, audit your pages.
That's a good one.
Are they converting properly how they're supposed to be doing, right? So for example, a lot of people reach out, hey, you know what? My online sales are not doing that great. First thing I do is I try to buy something. And if I can't buy something from your store, if your products are like all the way at the bottom below the fold, if I can't easily see it, if you don't have your tracking analytics tight, if your checkout is clunky, right? That's the number one thing I want you to look at, all right? Because if nobody can buy your stuff, I don't care how many ads you're sending to it.
Yeah, I fully need to agree to that. And this is, I think I mentioned the book so often already in this podcast, but I need to do it again. Don't Make Me Think. Really a good book, a perfect read. And it's already very old, and a lot of versions of this book already, I think. But it's worth to read it. Absolutely. Don't Make Me Think. Really good book. And it's especially explaining that as well. So absolutely, audit your sites. That's important.
Definitely, because we've done like marketing courses and boot camps, which no manufacturer does, by the way. I don't care what industry you're in. Yep. We've done one-on-one masterminds where people pay like $10,000 for us to help them with their marketing. And it's some of these pillars that you guys are getting for free. All right. But that's super important. Number 2, if you're going to run ads, who are you running those ads to? Right. Who is your customer? A lot of people just run some general ads and they forget like who is their ideal customer.
Yeah.
And,
who is it important for?
Exactly. So everybody says it, right? But the reality is, this is what you can do to find out. Think about who's your best customer that pays the most, that complains the least, that you have the highest margin, and then you actually get along with them. You want to call them, they want to call you. Even when you have problems, it's a great experience.
Yeah.
Think about who that customer is. Write down everything about them, what they like, what they print, what they produce, all these kind of things, how much they buy, what their income is, and then give it a name. All right, everybody, this is traditional training for marketers that a lot of new age digital marketers don't even know.
Yeah.
Right?
Make a persona. This is one of the most important things. Yeah. To have personas that you're targeting. And one thing that I learned from the online marketing area is we also work with a customer that is serving very, very many customers with mobile phones. So this is the usual thing. And once we run ads for them, he always says, everyone needs some smartphones, so put them out for everyone, the ads. But this is exactly that thing what you should not do, because targeting to a specific niche is much cheaper than putting out a broad ad. And the broad ad is just eating up your money. That's all it does and nothing else. And exactly. Targeting personas, being a bit more concrete, is really helping the marketing.
Yeah. So that's super important, guys. Because let me tell you, everyone and their mom is a digital agency right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you guys should be super careful when you hire an agency that it's run by a 17-year-old or a 20-year-old that's never actually built a business, and they're just running away with your money. All right. So you have to be careful that you have these kind of things in place, because that leads me to number 3. All right. What are my results that I need to get? And then have that super clear. And because why? You have to be analyzing those results.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have the trackers and the tools on your pages and everything to analyze. I have, there's maybe 80 some employees here, and I still sit and I watch recordings of our user sessions of what they're doing on the pages, right? And it's more of like, are they doing what we intend for them to do? Or are they scrolling around, clicking on things that you didn't want them to click on, and then they're leaving your page because there's no impact for them there, right? So always have your analytics, measure all that stuff, and then are you having the conversion that you need to do to survive? Because marketing is an investment, it's not an expense.
Very great. I love that. Thank you so much for that help. It's really good thing for our listeners to hear those very important facts again and again. We often have this, and the informations always are nearly the same, different story, but actually the same content. And this is so important. Get your site in shape, check it out, make an audit, build a persona, and choose the right people to run your ads. Do it the right way. Focus on the right things. Let's talk a bit about automation. I mean, automation is something that we really specialized in at SyncSpider, and it's something that I always want to hear from my interview partners. What do you think about automation? How important is it for your company, and what can you automate? What do you automate?
Yeah, so you're mostly talking about like automation flows for your marketing, right?
Automation flows for marketing or for business operations, especially when it comes to how can I get the, let's say, the order to my printer automated. I don't want to touch too many things. I just want to,
Well, that's a
sit down and relax and do marketing and not focus on our business operations.
Yeah. So it's a super important thing because it relates to margins and how much money you actually keep.
Yeah.
Right. So, for example, in print on demand, remember every image, every artwork, every apparel piece could be different.
Yep.
And so you need to be able to automate that. It's actually one of the reasons that we created Work. It is for job order automation. Because I was walking into the shops and I see the similar pattern, right? Everybody has a mess everywhere. They have an Excel sheet with the orders on them. They have a highlighter with the size and who it's supposed to go to. And they're like checking it off and they forget which one they already printed. And then there's also a USB stick, like 5 or 10 of them everywhere with the art files. So then I'm like, oh, this is a mess. How can you have an employee do this over and over again and actually scale, right? So that was a huge problem. So I looked around. I'm like, I got to find something online so I could recommend to people so they can do their job automation. And there's nothing. There was nothing out there that I could do to do that. So I started developing it, in-house.
Yeah.
So right now we have about 10 developers that are in charge of the application. And what does it do? It allows you to upload your image. It checks the quality. And then you're able to put it on a t-shirt or whatever. The customer does that. And then they pay you. They tell you if they want it rush. They tell you if they want it, whatever size. And when you see it on your dashboard, it's paid and ready to print.
Perfect.
With that. Yeah,
That's
with the high quality artwork.
That is automation as it should be. Yeah. You get your order, you have everything checked, you put it directly to the printer and up to the post office into a package.
Yeah, and it's all tied to a barcode, right? So when you or your employee, they scan the barcode, the machine's going to start printing that design for that customer at the size, at the quality that it needs to be. And then it's going to tell the system that it was printed. And then with that same barcode, you scan it again in your shipping area and it prints the shipping label. So you're not entering the address, you're not doing any of that stuff. And it also updates your customer that your stuff's being shipped.
Awesome.
So all of that stuff, it took a long time to build, but it's a huge need to actually push the automation forward when it comes to print on demand, when each piece is different, and all that. So that's
usual for automation. Save time, yes. Avoid human mistakes, and easily grow your business if everything is automated and in shape.
Exactly. So it takes time for adoption. With people that I think adoption is easier. And some business sizes than others, because when you're doing everything on your own, you don't tend to value your time as much. But when an owner has an employee, guess what? Everything's there's a value on it because someone's getting paid per hour.
Yep.
Sometimes we don't think about how much we're getting paid per hour as business owners. So you want to start looking at that. Because if you're receiving the orders by email, text, on Instagram DMs, and you're the one responding and you're editing the file for free, and then you're going back and forth and you're asking them for money and they're telling you, hey, I'll pay you when it's finished, or I don't have money right now. Like, you're doing all that stuff for free.
And that's definitely more expensive than everything else. I know this situation very, very good. My smaller brother has textile printing, and I know what they are doing. So when there is writing in the next football club for 20 dresses to be printed, and then of course every club has no money. No club has money. That's even better said. So, can you do your logo on it and make it a bit cheaper? So, that's the truth here in the printing.
They only have money for champagne and beer, right? So,
absolutely.
But this is what's important about automation. If you actually send them to a nicely designed store online and you say, hey, look, put your logo there. Let me know where you want it on a placement. This is how it enters our production line. If you want it on time, make sure you submit it on time. And the system's going to ask them to pay.
Yeah. And
now they don't have to ask you for free stuff.
Yeah. And this is a nice one. And it can even be, it doesn't matter what it is. As soon as you can automate things and make things easier and better for you and less stressful, you can also be a bit cheaper. Yeah? You can also beat the price a bit because you lower your costs of the people working on it, and that's even allow you to to grow a bit faster and a bit more aggressive on the market. And that's
exactly.
That's nice. Yeah.
Plus, another thing you could do is you can scale your sales, right? So, for example, if I do the three things that I told you guys earlier to be able to scale your marketing, but I have a bad way of processing my orders, I'm going to be scared when orders come in.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know it's going to be a mess.
Where's the next USB stick?
Exactly. But if you're organized, you're gonna put more money into marketing and you're going to put more money into orders. And because you know that you can actually effectively charge for it, make a profit, print it, ship it, and it's more organized and less stressful for you as a business owner. So there's a lot of side benefits into automating anything. And remember, Amazon is training everybody for us.
Yeah.
They're good trainers. Go to Amazon. You can't go to Amazon and order this stuff that you didn't need without paying for it.
Victor, it was really cool to talk to you. The last question for the day is because you made a very good, gave me a very good direction now when it comes to learning, career, and training. Who has taught you the most about e-commerce in your career?
The most that I invest in is my own education. Yeah. So there's a few different people that I use. I always learn from the best of the best when it comes to whatever the given subject, right? So the top people are the Traffic and Conversion Summit people. Roland Frazier is one of them. Because these guys are so good at what they do, right?
They are.
When it comes to content,
I know them as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Gary V.
Yeah.
The content that these people are providing are second to none, right? Billie Jean from Billie Jean is marketing. These are the primary the three marketers, and also one of my mentors, Grant Cardone. That comes into like getting attention, being everywhere, and investing in marketing so that you can get your business out there, right? So I'll say those are my top four right there.
And then I always like what you always say here is investing in marketing. Yeah. Marketing is an investment in a better growth and not an expense that you have.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. We have to look at it like fact. Yeah, it is, because then it'll say, because when you use the word, like the words that you use matter.
Yeah.
They matter because then you will follow the result that's required, right? So for example, when you invest, you're looking for a return. And then
Absolutely.
when you spend, you're not looking for a return.
Yeah.
Right? So you want to look at
yeah, you need to, and you want to. This is the big difference. Thank you very much. It was really a pleasure talking to you. All the best with OmniPrint and with your customers and with your courses. It's really cool to talk with you. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it, guys.
And that's it for this episode of the eCom Ops podcast. If you enjoyed listening and would like us to find and interview more e-commerce operations experts, please search for eCom Ops podcast in your favorite podcast listening app, and then subscribe, rate, and review. Until next time.